There.
Oh, sorry. We have an welcome to Lunes Live. We have another jam-packed episode. My computer's flipping out. I don't know what the hell's going on, but your favorite Compas got you covered from our Week 5 NFL takeaways. We'll talk about some of the 5 biggest games that we thought were pretty relevant, and then we will bring in Vic, the producer, to finish off this show. We are the buffers. We are the ones that warm you guys up before Sunday night or Monday Night Football. Why do you want to see friggin' the Kelsey brother? Why do you want to see other people on there? Stephen A. Smith, come over and hang out with your compas as we prepare you for Monday Night Football. What'd you say?
Ryan Clark is part of the Monday Night Countdown. I think.
Oh yeah, that guy too. Yeah, Charger fans, you guys hate Ryan Clark, so come over here, hang out with us. But yeah, let's talk about some of the chaos that happened at SoFi Stadium. But all right, Hilberto, do you have an engagement question for our viewers and or listeners?
Yes, I do. I was at that game on Thursday where the Rams just decided to take out a gun and shoot themselves in the foot like multiple times. And also, Fernando, maybe my Wi-Fi sucks or yours, but I know you're talking, but I can't hear you because we're glitching right now. But we'll figure it out. It's been a long time since Thursday, and then Sunday, obviously the Chargers losing to the Commanders. But we're not even talking about the Chargers just yet. For the engagement question of the week. Who had the worst Week 5 loss? I don't know who topped the Rams, but the Arizona Cardinals seem like they did top it. That's my pick right there. What a debacle there of self-destruction. You kind of just chopped your whole season or pretty much put your season on life support. It gives me vibes of the Bears losing to the Commanders on the Hail Mary. It's over. It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground. You're done, Cardinals. Whatever. I need to just crap on them more. But let me know in the comments who had the worst loss. Cardinals versus Rams. Jesus, Cardinals. You guys are terrible.
Dude, Eric told me after the game, he's like, the Cardinals lost. I was like, weren't they up 21-6? He's like, exactly. I'm like, wow. By the way, I guess hold on, my bad. I'm looking. I guess Gannon Jonathan Gannon said in regards to the video circulating on how he interacted with Emari Demercado on the sideline, he addressed it with the team Monday morning, said he prides himself on being even keeled in the heat of the moment. It's not who I am. It's not who I want to be.
It's a bad look. Dude, I don't care if you're my head coach. We're grown men here. You don't talk to me that way. I'm surprised Demercado composed himself. I get that he screwed up, but Jonathan Gannon and Demercado are probably almost the same age. You don't talk to me that way. I don't even care about the age. It's you're both men here, and he pretty much shoved him like a school kid back in the 50s with the ruler. It was bad. I'm surprised he composed himself.
Yeah. No, I saw the video. The Mercado. Yeah, I know what it is. I just read it and I didn't know what way to go with it.
With that name.
What's the name again?
Emari Demercado. I'm all trying to say it in Spanish now.
He is from Inglewood.
Yeah, but where's the name come from? I don't know.
You don't want me to tell you probably the way he got his name.
Okay, I'm not talking about when Columbus came over to invade the Americas.
Oh no! Oh, by the way, that's on Monday. Next Monday, happy Columbus Day. That's next Monday, though, not this Monday.
Think about that freaking episode on Sopranos where the Puerto Ricans and the Italians get into it.
Yeah. By the way, yeah. That's what Dan. So when we were in New York, Dan kept on saying that in this motherfucking house, Christopher Columbus is a national hero. I started laughing. So I thought that was amazing. By the way, did you hear that Joe Morley has a tryout with the Raiders for offensive and defensive line? They need him to go both ways, as he says the 49ers do. So 49ers fans do. So he's going to go both ways for them.
I just saw the video of Morley pretty much, in tears, pissed off about the Raiders. And I don't blame him. I do not blame him.
He lost his voice. In the video that he shot after the game, he had completely lost his voice.
I do not blame any Raider fan for reacting that way. That was horrendous.
Oh, Eric was not happy in the press box.
Pete Carroll and McVay just having meltdowns.
Oh, yeah, and Daniel called me on the way home, and he's like, I can't even say shit to you because we got creamed. And then he just starts laughing. And he's like, well, I went. He's like, at least you went 0-2, and then Eric's like, I did go 0-2 this week, but all right. Let's get into that. Commanders come into SoFi Stadium. Chargers up 10-0. Gilbert, I wrote about it on last night. I put mistakes that I've never seen a Jim Harbaugh team make, whether it's anywhere else that he's coached. Personal or flags, roughing the kicker. Ladd McConkey scores on a punt return, roughing the kicker. That would have put them up, I believe, 17-7. No, 17-3, 17-7. Would have put them up 17-7. They would have had momentum. There was one holding call on Trey Pipkins that they converted with Quentin Johnson on a second down. Then they convert again on 2nd and 28. They convert with Keenan Allen, illegal formation by Trey Pipkins. He was in the backfield. Justin Herbert got hit 8 times. He was sacked 4 by a Commanders defensive line that was one of the worst in the NFL at sacking the quarterback. Just uncharacteristic mistakes by a Jim Harbaugh-led team that he said, we need to fix the bleeding. We need to find a way to get this fixed. I personally don't think it's going to be fixed until guys come back. I'll give you my quick 2 cents as soon as you're done, but I kind of want to hear what you think, because obviously they start off 3-0. They got exposed a little bit last week against Jackson Dart with the whole running quarterback thing. I feel like that's kind of their weakness. And then obviously it happened more this week with them allowing another rookie running back to go crazy on them. He scores 2 touchdowns, and then obviously Jaden hurt them with his legs as well. And then Debo, over 80 yards receiving, and no scary Terry McLaurin. So Gilbert, your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, this must be a very frustrating 2-game stretch for Chargers fans, because it looked like it was going very well for 3 weeks. And, you know, I wasn't saying that they were perfect, but they looked like legit contenders. And then you see the Giants game, say, okay, you know, that's a good front. They are hurting. Injuries do happen. You could withstand that. You'll be fine. Here comes the Commanders and their so average defensive line, and they still wreck them, and they still put pressure on Justin Herbert. So to me, it's definitely, you could definitely be very concerned. You could definitely have a panic when you're thinking about big picture. Like, this team went from being a legit contender to like, they'll maybe make a playoffs. They'll probably survive. But like, it's one of these times where, and I read about this a lot this past week, Fernando, because there were so many results that were so chaotic. Where like, it's okay to just live in the moment. You don't have to think about what happens beyond, you know, October or beyond week 5. Like, we won't figure that out until the teams get there. So maybe that's the way to make people feel composed and woosah and take a breather. Like, we have no idea what's going to happen in November and December. Right now, they don't look like legit contenders because of the terrible offensive line, the injury waves, and Amari Hampton having the injury too as well. You know, Khalil Mack is out too. That does affect the defense, but it's one of those things where like, okay, how do you stop the bleeding? Like, how do you, you know, like the dam is falling. How do you just kind of, you know, get by and keep it afloat? Like, this is not keeping it afloat, you know, like the Bengals and Joe Burrow side. It's not that bad, but there is a lot of issues here. When you have a front that's not very good, and Justin Herbert can't do anything behind that. And, you know, the good thing about the first 3 weeks, Fernando, and I'm a little over the place with my thoughts here, because honestly, that was one game I stopped caring about. It was over. Like, the second that Quentin Johnson fumble, the second I saw the defense, they couldn't contain.
That's what Dan Quinn told them. That was the game changer.
It was over by then. They couldn't contain Bill, the rookie, with the 3 names there. Deebo Samuel was doing whatever he wanted to. So from all phases, that one was over. I could tell. So I'm barely getting my mind wrapped around this one. But there's a lot of concerns, but it's not like one of those things like it's over, like you're doomed, like the Cincinnati Bengals here. Like, you have your
I don't believe it either.
You have a lot of talent remaining, but it must be, and I'm gonna go back in circles here. It must be so frustrating where you're Jim Harbaugh and you're Joe Ortiz. You invest in the offensive line. You use a top, 5 pick to draft Joe Alt. I want to say he was drafted before Malik Neighbors, right?
Yes, he was.
You're patient with the game plan. You say, we know the O-line is very important, and then you get this crappy result. Like, you put so much investment, and that's what you get. You pay for Mekhi Becton. You pay for Rashawn Slater to be in camp, ready to go, and he gets hurt. It's just the way football goes sometimes. And I hate to bring this up. It just makes you wonder, like, what is it about the freaking Chargers that always seem to have this voodoo curse? And Dan's gonna blame me probably tomorrow, but like it's been around the franchise for 60 years now, and that's why I'm saying it must be so damn frustrating when you think you have it. Star quarterback, star coach, star defense, star everything. Rising players like Hampton, rising players like McConkey, resurgence from Keenan Allen, comeback player Quentin Johnson, and you still suck, and you still lay an egg for 2 weeks in a row. It's gotten very bad, but all I can say is like it's not that bad, and you can't look ahead to the future. But I just don't know how they fix it. And you could take it away from here, Fernando, because if you name the people on that offensive line, who, what, that guy still plays. Why is he starting? I don't know how you fix it, to be honest here.
The problem is, Gilbert, and again, I wrote about this last week. Back in camp, there was a practice on a Saturday. We asked Greg Roman because Andre James was taking most of the snaps with the first team, and you saw it, and he looked serviceable, and he looked better than what was in there. And we asked Greg, is he in the contention for being the center? Yes, he is. He is in here. It's everybody's in this battle for the 5 starting. Well, obviously, the 2 starting positions of left guard, and center, because Makai's the guard. Joe Walton, Rashawn Slater are where they at. Jim Harbaugh comes in the next day and he goes, no, this battle's between Zion and Bradley Bozeman. And it's just so irresponsible. And that's the thing Dan said yesterday, and I think a lot of fans appreciated what Dan was saying, because last night he said, then don't feed me the bullshit of competitors welcome, because that's not true. They are so dead set on Bradley Bozeman starting for some odd reason. Vic, can you take this off, please? This is exactly what Bradley Bozeman, if you go to every single game, you will see this at least 7 times in the game. Watch him on this play. Look at Herbert doesn't even have any time, and he gets distracted helping Zion. Like, why? There's another clip.
When the Wi-Fi was taking a crap and it was slow. Like, I'm like, oh wow, he's so slow, and he still got through Bradley Bozeman. And kind of that was funnier to me. But yeah.
Oh, okay, my bad.
But yeah, now a full pace.
Hold on, Vic, real quick. There's another play where hopefully it doesn't crap out, but there's another play where that I have right here, and Bradley Bozeman has been a big topic during press conference, and both Greg are both raving about how good Bradley is. Like last week, he goes, well, it's like Zion came up and he's the one that came up with the game plan. Dude, then something's going on where this game plan's bad. Listen to the way Justin tries to check something, and he gets pissed at Bradley.
No! Empty backfield. Blitz is coming. Herbert in deep trouble. Throws it away. Incomplete. There was...
Jeez.
Like, you could hear Herbert's checking and telling him he's coming in. 94's coming in hot. Bradley checks to something else, and then Justin goes, no. And he has to hike it because the what's it called? The play clock's about to come down. And Gilbert... Justin Herbert right now, and again, I know Vic didn't want us to get too much into this because we have something planned for tomorrow. Gilbert, Justin Herbert is on pace. Everybody loves the connection between Jim Harbaugh and Andrew Luck. Well, Andrew Luck was hit 580 times in his first 6 seasons. Justin Herbert's on pace to get hit 625. Daniel Popper had the stat. Gilbert, that's 70 more times that he's going to get hit. Gilbert, he's gotten hit 34 times in the last 3 weeks. How do they expect Justin to survive the season? I'm sorry. If I was Justin, I'd become a diva, and I'd be like, I'm not playing in front of that offensive line. You guys literally want me to get kicked. He's been sacked 12 times. I know, 3 in the last 3 games. I know, Gilbert, that's rare coming from me that I would say something like that. What else is he going to do to get these guys to listen to him? Like, it's that bad. Like, you've put, like, this offensive line has been bad in the past, but at least they had Corey Linsley a couple of years ago, except before his heart kind of gave out on him. Gave out in the sense of he can't play in the NFL anymore. Sorry. But
I know what you mean.
But ever since they lost him, it's been a cluster F at center. And now they're looking for answers. And you have Jim Harbaugh, like Chris Rim asked him last night, do you feel like you have the players in this locker room to protect Justin? Yeah, I do. No, you don't. Like, it's that obvious. And I think Jim Harbaugh's biggest, being around him now for a year and a half, I think his biggest, not downfall, but his biggest weakness is his loyalty to people. Loyalty is great, but when there's loyalty to Greg Roman, Mike Devlin, and it seems like it's really hurting you, that's when I think you need to look in the mirror and be like, I don't know. Like, there's just nothing creative about this scheme that they're running. Like, in a sense, like, let's just say Mike McDaniel, you give him Keenan Allen, Ladd McConkey, and Quentin Johnston, I bet you he'd scheme all three of them. And I mean, as an offensive coordinator, he would probably scheme them, and it'd be a pretty dynamic offense. Again, as a head coach, it's hard for him to scheme because obviously he's the head coach. He has to be in everywhere, just as an example. But I really think they're dropping the ball hard. I think the LA Chargers organization is wasting the prime of Justin Herbert the same way they wasted the last few years of Phillip Rivers, even though the last three he was piss poor. But before that, like, he was on it, and they wasted his prime. And unfortunately, it seems like they're kind of doing the same thing over here with Justin Herbert, which is unfortunate because the guy's super talented. He has it. The team just doesn't have, and that's the thing. Again, Gilbert, Jim Harbaugh, what did he say? I woke up at 3 a.m. and I said, I need to get Justin Herbert to the Hall of Fame. And then what was the other quote? Everybody needs to play up to the standard of Justin Herbert. Zion Johnson, Bradley Bozeman, Foster Sarrell, Jamari Sawyer, Austin DeKalkis. They're not in the same zip code in the same country as Justin Herbert. So I don't know what they're going to do. Rashawn Slater's not walking through that door. And you know what I was thinking about last night? I was telling Eric, not at 3 a.m, obviously. I told him now that this is just going to rush Joe Walt to get back. That's what they're going to force him to do. Not force him in the sense of they tell him you need to come back now, but it's going to force him because that guy's an animal in the sense of, like, he wants to be out there. He knows he wants to win, but I think that's going to force him to come back. I'm not saying he's going to come back for this game. I think for the Indy game, he's going to be back. But I really think he's going to try and force his way back because he sees how hard the team's bleeding. Gilbert, if I was the Dolphins, I'd go cover 0. What the hell are you? There's no Omari in Hampton. There's no Najee Harris. There's no running back to be a threat on. Just go cover 0 the whole game. Just completely blitz them. Let's see what they can do with that. So it's crazy. I didn't think we'd be at this point, but again, Joe Ortiz and all that, like, people are saying, oh, bro, Tom Telesco was better. He wasn't. Look at the drafts that he's had. I know he hasn't drafted offensive linemen except for Joe Alt, but at least Tarheeb still, guys like those guys are playing, and they're playing well. So I think that's a stretch for people to say, oh, we want Tom Telesco back. I think that's really bad. But sorry, Gilbert, I kind of went on a tangent. I didn't get to talk last night about this.
This is a team.
I wanted to throw my 2 cents in it.
This is a team that you cover. This is a team that there was a game. I mean, a game you were at. This is a game I checked out of by the second half because it was so lopsided.
Oh, because you had Tampa Bay versus Seattle.
There was so many other good games, but this is the last thing I'll say.
That's a what do you call them? A shootout. That was, or whatever you like to call.
That was a thriller.
A thriller. There you go.
Let me just say the last thing. I know we got to move on, but part of me doesn't want to put a lot of blame in Harbaugh and Ortiz for not investing. Like, I don't want like investing in a center, and that's the thing. I know people don't care about centers. It's not a sexy conversation, but you know, it's hard to find the center, and then when you really need one, it's hard to invest in one and get one in the first round. And you know, there's other teams that need a center. So a Gray Zabel goes in number 18. He probably shouldn't go 18, but you don't think about it twice. Who cares if the fan base is bitching and complaining? What are you talking about? Why are we getting a center? maybe he's a guard. Like he shouldn't be a top 20 pick. Like
people bitch when they got Joe Alt.
Yeah, like forget about all that. Like, and here's the other thing. What about free agency? What about this guy? Ryan Kelly just went on IR for he went on IR for the Vikings. 2 concussions on the year. Missed pretty much 7 games last year for the Colts. Like free agency for offensive lineman is a crapshoot. Like Dan Moore Jr., who got 4 years, $82 million from the Titans, has been terrible. Will Fries, also with the Vikings, has been terrible. The Vikings have given up 21 sacks, the most in the league, and Will Fries and Ryan Kelly got the bank. But people want to complain and say, go throw money at the free agents. It just doesn't work that way, especially for the O-line. Good old linemen don't make it out of the building. Like, I'm tired of saying that. Like, linemen, if you have a good one, they're gonna stay in house. And for some reason, if they do make it out, it's very rare. It's because the team has a better option, a younger option, and a cheaper option. If you cross all 3, then you let the guy go. But it rarely happens. So, yeah, complain about the GM, complain about the coaches, but at least they invested in Joe Alt when the time was there, and they did it. You got to make a better effort for center. I'm not trying to give him a full pass, but I'm just trying to get behind the scenes. That, like, it's difficult to prioritize a center in the first round. It's difficult to get one in the free agency because they just don't make it out. But I gave you the leeway here, Fernando, because this is one team I'm not worried about too much. Like I will complain about other teams, and I don't stop myself from going off. But this one, I think I got to see how it plays out.
Let me talk to you.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. Tyler Dragon texted me and he goes, "They're not making the play." I was like, dude, there's still a lot of football left. Like, they're gonna, like, most of these guys are gonna get them back. Like, I would hold off on that a little bit. But lastly, remember what Anthony Lynn told Dan when he met him at the Super Bowl 2 years ago about offensive linemen. It's hard to find good coaches.
It's actually like a crisis that we're not talking about.
It is, and that's why it's time to get Dan and Dago in the NFL. But all right, let's move on real quick. Let's go over to the Rams, Gilbert. Very surprising. Multiple injuries on that 49ers team. And obviously you were at that game. I will let you take it away, but just real quick, Mac Jones, 33 of 49, 342, 2 touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey, 22 carries, 57 yards, 8 catches, 82 yards, 1 touchdown. Kendrick Bourne, 10 catches, 142. Like I told Tyler Dragon yesterday, keep on laughing at me. Quarterback rehab works. It is working on Mac Jones. And lastly, Kyle Shanahan said it best. They looked at that. They were 8.5 underdogs, and he laughed at it. He told the team nutted up. They came out. They put the 49ers or the Rams down early. I still think that the Rams, whoever the hell's the PA guy, they need to stop doing Whose House when the 49ers are there, because they are glaring and they're blaring and they get loud. But I think this is a good punch in the mouth for the Rams. They needed something like this. I'm sure they thought they were going to steamroll the 49ers, thinking, oh, yeah, those guys have a bunch of injuries. Let's just go in there and we'll win this game and move on to – where are they going? Baltimore and then London. Yeah. But yeah, Gilbert, 49ers are for real, man. I think they may be legit even with all the injuries, but unless you think it's a one-off, but I was very impressed by the 49ers performance.
Yeah, let me give you both sides, and I'll start with the 49ers because I don't think it's a one-off, but I also still don't think they're like a legit Super Bowl contender. It's like, yeah, they're like, I keep telling them, they're survivors. Like, I'm done like counting out that team regardless of on the field. Like, credit to Shanahan and John Lynch. They've built depth and have star players, and they've been hitting in the draft. They have some good coaching. Robert Saleh and Fred Warner are pretty much like, Coach 1A or Coach 1 and Coach 1A, and Warner just playing at elite level, and guys are feeding off at like Alfred Collins, having some key momentum changing plays. Like, that's a very young defense. So, credit to the whole organization, but like, I still need to see more from them, and they are at the top of the NFC standings at 4-1. They get beat up by the Jaguars, but they're going to be in the game. And part of me, like, I pat myself in the back for saying this is going to be a close game. I took the 49ers in the points there. I took the +7, and then it got up to +9, and that's where I got in trouble when it came to I'm giving all my betting angle here, Fernando. Survivor pool, and that's where like you pick a team every week. If you don't get
Rams,
I did. But okay, you understand Survivor pool. I explained to you the rules here, and I was gonna go Cardinals. They're playing the crappy Titans. I'm like, nope, they're gonna choke. I don't trust them. And then I start seeing all the line shifting.
You should have gone with Rams next week against Baltimore.
I was gonna lose regardless. It's gonna be Arizona or Rams, and I just started like feeding into the whole narrative. Like, who do they have? No Pearsall, no Jennings, no Purdy, no Nick Bosa, no George Kittle. And I saw that the line moved from +7 to +9. I'm like, oh crap, that's a big jump. People are really freaking out here for the 49ers, and I kind of fed into it for a little bit. But the point is, they're going to keep games close. Like Mac Jones is a talented quarterback. I still got to see more before we start talking about quarterback competition, but we'll talk about that later. But they're survivors, and that's pretty much plain and simple. Like, they are surviving this injury wave. Some teams can't handle it. The 49ers can't. So to that, I give them a ton of credit. I just, when it comes to big picture, I still can't get behind that because I don't know. Like, what are their biggest wins? Beating Seattle and beating the Rams. Like, those are two teams that I have a lot of question marks myself. So the NFC West is competitive, but it's not like a big boy division that we thought they were going to be. They're okay. Then on the Rams side, like, I'm really doubting if they're going to be a Super Bowl contender. Like I honestly haven't. Not even that. Like, I've never actually considered them to be a real threat to win the Super Bowl. But can they win the division now? Like, the Seahawks are pretty good. The 49ers are good. And it's a very close race here. You don't have any cornerbacks. Your running backs can't protect the football. They can't catch the football. They can't really get Devontae Adams in sync either. And then you got
he doesn't look like he's in sync with Matthew Stafford.
And this is a one-off problem. But then Sean McVay calling that crappy play on 4th and 1. I don't know what the hell that was about. Oh, and the bigger problem,
it was shitty.
There you go. It was shitty. He was sick about it. And then you can't even kick. You like, it's not even a kicker problem. It's you can't get the kick over people's hands. Like that's a big issue there. And credit to my colleague Connor Orr for calling out the protection issues there. And he wrote a story about it. Again, more offensive line play, Fernando. If your offensive linemen are hurt, and then when it comes to protecting the field goal unit, the linemen are you're down linemen to protect the pressure there. So you bring in backups to do the role, and they're like, oh, wait, I got to play special teams too? I don't even know how to do this. So I put my hands up, and the Rams are struggling. So I know I'm going on a tangent there. To summarize, 49ers are going to be survivors. They're going to be in it until the end. And the Rams, they're not as good as people thought they were. Like, I know that I was down on them, like, to an extent, but now I'm thinking, like, should I be a little more down on the Rams here? Because they have a lot of issues here.
Nah, they'll blow out Baltimore and they'll go to London. Who are they playing in London?
Jaguars. I think that'd be a tough one. They're starting to get my respect here. But they'll play tonight. We'll find out about Jaguars tonight.
By the way, I saw a Rams fan after that field goal miss on Twitter. He goes, F it. He's like, I get it. He's a shitty person, but we need somebody like Tucker. What's his name?
Yeah, Justin Tucker.
Justin Tucker. There you go. We need somebody like Justin Tucker.
It's not even a kicker problem. Like, even any kicker can't get the ball over.
I know. No, I get it, but I just started like, well, because
but I've been seeing people like say Cardi should get cut. I'm like, do you guys not understand football? Like, it's a special teams problem. And I know people don't give a crap about special teams, but it's something you should really pay attention to. Like, they've missed multiple game, or actually, to the credit of Sean McVay, he said they lost both games, Philadelphia and San Francisco, because they couldn't protect on the field goal unit. So that tells you a lot right there.
Guys, is it realistic that the Ravens will be picking top 5 next year? No. No, I think it is realistic. Or no, I don't think it is real. Shit.
Yeah.
No, they're not going to be picking 5. They're gonna go on
enough games to get 7 or 8. And
I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs, though. I think if they're 1-5 going into their bye week, it's going to be very tough. All right. Let us go over to a game that surprised me, Gilbert. I only saw the end of it because I was on the show with Pancho and Adrian, our good friends over at with the Chargers Spanish broadcasting team. But the Eagles get out to a 17-3 lead. They can't get their ball. Saquon Barkley had six attempts for 30 yards. I've never seen that before. He did have a 47-yard touchdown catch, so that was improvement. Jalen Hurts went 23 of 38, 280, 2 touchdowns. Bo Nix, 24 of 39, 242, 1 touchdown. And J.K. Dobbins, 20 carries, 79 yards, 1 touchdown. The Denver Broncos come from behind, down 17-3. They end up beating the Philadelphia Eagles. Gilbert, is this the signature win? Is this more about the perfect storm that was for the Broncos, knowing all the beef that's going on right now with the Eagles and them kind of taking advantage? Or is Philly just a mess right now and they don't know what their identity is on offense?
These are all tough questions because this is another game where, like, I don't want to look beyond what happened for 4 quarters. Like, I
there was media members patting themselves on the effing back after this one. Those are the Broncos that we all know.
I'm impressed, but I'm not that impressed because I was telling Victor, like, all last week, like, they just match up well. Like, this is one of the rare teams that match up well with the physical, gritty toughness of the Philadelphia Eagles. A lot of teams can't handle that. To the Broncos' credit, that's a strength. They know how to play smash mouth football defensively. And let me kind of break it down. Like, like the Broncos defense is not special enough to carry a Bo Nix offense to the Super Bowl, but they're good enough to win a playoff game. They're good enough to make some damage and put a scare into you. And that's a very diverse defense, and they don't have a lot of star power, but what they do have is a good edge rusher, Nick Bonito, who's actually starting to become a star. Like he's living up to what he did last year. Like it wasn't a fluke. Like he's becoming a legit #1 edge rusher. And then you have depth on the front to put pressure or stop the run. And then you got a physical downhill safety who's healthy right now. Ufanga, he has to stay healthy for the whole season. But that's making a difference. When you're doing the tush push and short yardage and playing Saquon Barkley, you need everybody. You need all 11 guys to be that tough. And then the second you're putting pressure and you're taking away the run, okay, well, here's Jalen Hurts to drop back to A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Good luck giving the ball to A.J. Brown when you got PS2 there. Surtain was having a great game against A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown got frustrated a couple times there. And that's why they went to Devontae Smith for like the first time in a long time, because A.J. Brown got shut down. So you put in all these elements of defense here, and maybe it is to what you said, the perfect storm. But I prefer they match up well against the Eagles. And yeah, and here's the other thing I'm also annoyed about. It's the Broncos are like, here are the pom-poms. They're the real Super Bowl threat that we all thought they were. Like, I hate that. And then here's the other one that I hate for the Eagles. It's 2023 all over again. This defense, this offense sucks. They went 10-1 and then they faded. When has this offense been pretty? It's what they do. And 8 times out of 10, the opposing team doesn't know how to handle ugly football. They don't know how to handle Saquon Barkley. They don't know how to handle A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts. So, like, can we pump the brakes on 2023? I hate these comparisons to, like, if you look at the numbers from the last 2 years, they're going to fade and this and that, whatever. Like, the Eagles are still good. They're going to be fine. And the Broncos are still kind of who I thought they were, a division round team if they're lucky to win a playoff game, but they'll make the playoffs. And that's it. But people want to really hype up this game. Like we just saw two seasons change because the Broncos win. To me, I'm annoyed about that. But the Broncos have a physical defense and they used it to their advantage. Credit to them for that.
I feel like PS2 matches up better against bigger receivers like against him than Devontae Smith. Like, that's what I noticed when he faced Quentin. Quentin was a little bit too fast for PS2. But at the same time, that's why Devontae Smith was on the other side and he was having such a I don't want to say easy time, but yeah, I kind of felt like it was the perfect storm for the Broncos to take advantage. Like you said, they match up well, they do some really good things. I just thought that the Eagles defense doesn't have that same juice that they had last year. But like last year, I remember you couldn't throw near 27 at all. You could throw Quinyon Mitchell's way, and now you can kind of throw
the Wi-Fi lag.
No, that's fine. No. I think that's my Wi-Fi. But yeah, no, I definitely think that they did obviously the Broncos, they got it together when they needed to. They got it together at the end. They were able to go and win the game. So I again, I think that the Broncos are a good team. I just don't think they're that great team that everybody else thinks that they are, because I do think they have a Bo Nix problem. I'm a little surprised that they don't feed J.K. Dobbins more. It seems like J.K.'s kind of proven in the past that if you keep on feeding him, good things are going to happen. But again, besides Cortland Sutton, I really feel like they have no viable threat, and that's kind of what exposed them. So I'm thinking that before, like Chris Olave to me could end up going to Denver, especially because Sean Payton was with him down there, I think his rookie year. So, or no, was it Dennis Allen? No, it might have been Dennis Allen.
Yeah, I think I can't remember. All right, sorry, I was
gonna
say. I was gonna say Nick Lunes is not gonna trade anybody, but yeah, I think by then Sean Payton was gone.
Yeah. So, well, I definitely think that Denver beat them, but at the same time, if we're being completely honest, I just think the Eagles needed a loss like that, and that's what they took. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're a threat, just because I think everybody's kind of bad in the AFC right now, and we're kind of noticing that. But
it's wide open
again. I think
suddenly if the Chiefs win the game tonight.
That's why I don't think the Chargers are completely out of it. Like, people think that they're out of it. I still don't think they're out of it. I think the AFC hasn't been as good as what people thought it was going to be.
What's the best team right now on the spot, Fernando? What's the best team right now in the AFC?
Buffalo still.
Oh, they got a lot of problems there.
I know they do, but I'd still say Buffalo.
They don't have a good defense. They're pretty bad.
I know. You see, Joey keeps on performing well, though.
Yeah, I did see. What do you have? Like, he has like 2 or 3 sacks now. I forget.
I think he has 3. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. Mehul, we really appreciate this part. He says, You guys have a really good podcast. I'm surprised it's not as big as some of the other sorry ass podcasts. We definitely appreciate that. That means a lot.
We're not here waving the pom-poms and giving you positive clickbait, I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, exactly. Gilbert, real quick, let's transition over to the Titans against the Commanders, Gilbert. It was just a weird game. The Commanders get out, or the Commanders, the Cardinals get out to a 21-3 lead, or 21-6 lead. After a night run of a 1-yard touchdown, they get up 21-3. In the fourth quarter, just all unravels, Gilbert, with a Tony Pollard touchdown. Tyler Lockett fumbles near the end zone. The ball gets kicked around. It gets recovered in the end zone by Tyler Lockett recovers it in the end zone. The touchdown scored. Then Sly comes up and kicks the game winner after missing the extra point after the Tony Pollard 1-yard kick. Or Tony Pollard 1-yard run. They end up beating the Cardinals, Gilbert, a Cardinals team that.
Sorry.
Oh, really? Let me see what he said.
That's a good one, but no,
we appreciate that, Angel. But yeah, it just, Gilbert, it's a bad. Oh my God, that's why everybody was so excited. Dan waited until 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And then he just like unleashed F-bomb after it. I'm like, geez.
Wait till 5 minutes.
That's why they were all hyping. Like, no. And then I got like a phone call in the middle of it from one of our compas. And I'm like, hey, let me come back. And everybody got excited. They're like, oh, Dan's by himself. There's nobody to hold him back. Dan, unleash. And he just keeps on freaking getting, like, there was a bunch of people in there getting him all riled up. I'm like, can you guys stop for the love of God? But Gilbert, it's one of those things where I don't know if Brian Callahan saved a job. I don't think so, because it's the Cardinals. But at the same time, Gilbert, we have to start having a conversation about Kyler Murray. It's not happening. He's not getting any better. I think we're still seeing the same Kyler Murray from a couple of years ago. I don't think anything in his game has changed. I don't think he's gotten better at all. Gilbert, what were your thoughts on this game, and what are your thoughts on Kyler Murray?
Yeah, I'll be quick on the Tennessee Titans. I got to give them some credit. They finally won a game, and let's remember the Tennessee Titans. But this victory does nothing for you in the long run. I don't think Brian Callahan's gonna survive the year. I still got to see a lot from Cam Ward. He's not a savior just because he had one game-winning drive, but that's awesome. Credit to Cam Ward. He needed that one, and he made some big-time throws in the fourth quarter. But the Cardinals gave you that one. That was gift wrapped, and you took it. Credit to you. Enjoy the victory. You might go 2-15, but who cares? Moving on to the Cardinals, like I mentioned earlier, like what happened, and I think Connor wrote about this. I'm like, yeah, that could definitely happen. The way the Bears lost to the Commanders on the walk-off Hail Mary, and they lost, 10 games in a row, 11 in a row? Like, I could see that happening to Arizona. You get the whole thing with Jonathan Gannon, who I think is starting to feel the heat. Like, he has progress, but it's very small progress. And then now you got the cheap ownership opening up the wallets, and they're like, you got to win now. You got to go to the playoffs, man. We're paying here for Josh Sweat, and we're investing in the draft for your defense, and we already paid Kyler Murray, and like, what are you going to give us? Another 7 or 8, 9 wins? Like, that's like you're into year 3. You got to do something. So the way he was pissed off kind of told me everything. The way they've been kind of having some choke jobs and flat performances, I've been screaming it. And they're a talented team, and he knows how to coach defense. But he finally tried to do something about it by getting pissed off, but he did it poorly. Like, go maybe I should have said this. Go maybe kind of shake up the OC, Drew Petzing, like for his terrible play calls. Maybe shake up the quarterback a little bit for some terrible passes. Like, this is not Kyler Murray's fault, but it's just a typical Kyler Murray play. Did you see when the ball hit him in the helmet? Like, he was like a little kid confused. Like, what the hell? It's like it was the center's fault, but like it hit him, and it's just a definition of Kyler Murray. And Kyler Murray, was joking, last week when he said, "Oh yeah, the renderings for the new facility look great. I hope I'm here for that." Like, yeah, it's totally true. Like, who knows you're gonna be there for that? Like, it's gonna happen. It's like 2 years from now. You probably won't make it. But you got to pull the plug. Either I hate to say this, and I'll find a nice way to say it, and you guys could read between this the way I'm saying it. You need to make a change. And if you want to move Petzing somewhere else, go ahead. But he's not working. And most of the times the quarterbacks get the benefit of that over the OCs, but it's not working there. You don't have a running back that's capable of being a number 1 running back when James Conner went down. So to me, I don't know. What are you really doing here? Do you just kind of tank the season away and hope to get a better pick to get the quarterback? Because I feel like if they get another quarterback, like they might be a quarterback away from being a good playoff team. Like, they have a good defense, but it's getting to a point where I'm like, I think Jonathan Gannon might get fired. Like people are very frustrated. I know people don't talk about the Cardinals besides me here. Like, people don't give a crap about them, and I don't blame them. But there's pressure, and they're not delivering. And now they're the 4th best team in the division, and it's not even close. The Seahawks, 49ers, or Rams are better. So to me, I would not be shocked, Fernando, if they rip off like a 4-game losing streak here. I don't even know the schedule, but this is the type of game that just destroys you mentally.
Can you hear me or no? Am I there?
Yeah, but I wasn't sure if my connection was starting to
get
to you.
It's me. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. I know. Yeah, you sent your bad juju my way. Your bad Wi-Fi juju my way.
Which is funny because usually the low Wi-Fi marker comes up the whole show. I haven't seen it once here.
Oh, I've seen it the whole show for me. So yeah, exactly. So but no, I agree with you. I just don't think I think ownership is going to get very annoyed with Gannon, with Kyler Murray. I think they're going to be a package deal, and I think even the GM might be in that package if they're not careful. I think Callahan's still on the chopping block. They might want to try and get another offensive mind in there. So yeah, but again, Gilbert, that's why I say if you're going to fire a head coach, or if you're going to draft a quarterback, and you've already noticed that the head coach sucks, why not just fire him along with it? Start over with a brand new head coach, a guy that wants that quarterback that you have, and then go with it. Not who knows? Maybe Brian Daboll, if he gets the Titans job, maybe he doesn't want Cam Ward or you know what I mean? Like when it comes to that kind of stuff, you should pair up the number 1 overall pick or the future quarterback with the head coach that you have. But I mean, teams rarely do that. Look at the Bears. The Bears are now they are on their bye week, I guess, but still, it hasn't looked pretty yet with I'll
give you a better one.
Caleb
the
Williams.
Carolina Panthers, Fernando. When this message gets to you eventually in the dial-up era, the Panthers and Bryce Young, that is the most frustrating rebuild in NFL history. Like, he has the crappiest first half I've ever seen from a quarterback, and then he lights it up in the second half. It's like he's like, yeah, you should probably cut me. You should probably get rid of me. But then I'm gonna give you flashes like that where you think about it. Let's do it again for another month. Like, that is the most annoying thing you can have for a young quarterback. But like, you got to ride out the wave. I'm not saying the Panthers should commit to Bryce Young because he hasn't been good, but that's kind of thing with Cam Ward, Caleb Williams is like, you got to decide which growing pains are worth it, you know?
No, I completely agree. Gilbert, last but certainly not least, the New England Patriots on Sunday Night Football go into Buffalo, and they stun the Buffalo Bills. Drake Maye 22 of 30, 273, 0 touchdowns. Both of their touchdowns were scored by Ramon Stevenson, the running backs. He had 7 carries, 14 yards, 2 touchdowns. Stephon Diggs on a revenge game, Gilbert, 10 catches for 146 yards. On the opposite side, Josh Allen, 22 of 31, 253, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Dalton Kincaid, 6 catches, 108. Gilbert, your thoughts on this game?
Man, Drake Maye was very impressive, and I made a joke in my story from yesterday. It's like, people heard about Drake Maye being good as a rookie, but I'm like, did you actually watch Drake Maye? Like, have you heard about this indie underground band that's supposed to be very good, but people tell you they're good, but you've never seen them perform? And that's like what Drake Maye did in primetime for the first time. Like, you maybe heard about him in a podcast, maybe you saw him in the witching hour and Red Zone for a little bit, but that's it. You haven't seen a full sample size of Drake Maye, and to me, he came out confident. That was a raucous environment in Buffalo. Like, he doesn't have the best surroundings, but he made a 31-year-old Stephon Diggs like turn back the clock, and he was feeding that guy. And once he got that rhythm with Stephon Diggs, he was just balling out, giving the ball to is it Booty or Butte? I don't know how to say his name. He just seemed like he was like determined to will them the victory, and those are great signs for a franchise quarterback. Pretty much went perfect in the fourth quarter with the game on the line. Went toe to toe with Josh Allen, and I know you're asking me about the Patriots, but I'm like, the Bills in a way didn't say it, but they kind of crapped on Stephon Diggs and saying like, yeah, like, we have this better offense now where everybody eats here and everybody gets their own love here. We don't have a wide receiver that takes all the bulk of the carries, and Josh Allen became an MVP. And then Stephon Diggs probably hears that narrative. He gets pissed off. He says, F you guys, I'm going to go have a baby with Cardi B, and I'm going to make Drake Maye better than Josh Allen. And Drake Maye looked so much better than Josh Allen yesterday. It was one game, but I could see these guys battling in the division. I keep wanting to say conference, in the division for the next 10 years. So to me, it was a nice coming out party for Drake Maye. The revenge game for Stephon Diggs was kind of sweet and a cool idea. But Stephon Diggs will probably be there one season and that's it. But Drake Maye, he's well on his way to being around for a very long time, Fernando.
Gilbert, a little bit of breaking news. Chiefs now have added left tackle Josh Simmons to their injury report. He is battling an illness and is questionable for tonight's game.
That's a tough one. That's going to bring the pressure. But what's the edge rusher for the Jaguars not available?
Oh, Trayvon Walker.
Who's been? Yeah.
Drake Maye, from the little that I watched in this game, Drake Maye was pretty impressive. He had poise. He would stay in the pocket. Obviously, like you said, the Bills' defense is very sus. So they don't have much of a pass rush. They have some good corners, though. I like some of the guys that they have back there, but yeah, it didn't look good for them last night. I thought last night in their icy whites and all this shit, they were gonna maybe go and beat them up. Same as the Chargers. They had those powder blue. I think those powder blues are not going to be the new ones that they go 0-6 in, like they did in with the all navy or whatever. But yeah, no, Drake Maye controlled the ball. He didn't turn the football over. That's the name of the game. They were able to move the football when they needed to, and they ended up making more plays than the Bills. The Bills are going to need to find guys that step up. I mean, if you really look at it, besides Kincaid, Shakir, 4 catches, 45, Palmer, 2 for 36, like I've said before. Deion Coleman, 4 catches, 23 yards, 1 touchdown. Like, guys are going to need to step up, and they unfortunately didn't step up on Sunday night. But I mean, it is what it is. We'll see what happens with them moving forward. But I still think the Bills are a good team. I still think that they're going to make the playoffs. They're going to be in there in the AFC Championship when it's all said and done. But we'll see what happens when they do that. Yeah, that's
can't give you
question.
this snarky, sassy comments when the Wi-Fi is lagging in on your end, Fernando. Jesus.
I know. Whoa, don't take my Lord's name in vain. All right. Let us bring in Vic, the producer. Let's finish this off right the way we usually do. Let's bring Vic in and give me 1 second. Let me see if I can do something about this Wi-Fi. I'm listening, though.
Hello, Victor. How's it going?
Hey, what's going on? Let me fix this.
Wi-Fi doing much better than Fernando's, I hope.
I think so. I'm able to watch the Dodger game here while I'm producing. So we're doing good here, and it looks like we'll get him back soon. All right, Gilbert.
I was going to say about baseball, Victor. I am so out of the loop in baseball. I'm like, oh man, I was so busy watching football. I missed the Dodger game yesterday, and then I find out they got a rest day after game 1. What the hell is going on in baseball?
Yeah.
That grinds my gears.
They were at the Eagles game.
Yeah.
That's right. It was an Eagles game, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, and then it was crazy because the Mariners and the Seahawks had to kind of change some stuff up because of they're right next to each other. So there was a lot of issues there too. So luckily they were able to move the Mariners game to the later time. I think they didn't start till later on at night. So
Eric was surprised. He was excited when he found out his Mariners won.
Good for him. And Ibuka went off too. What a day for Eric.
Yeah.
Rob Gronkowski can't say his name.
How does he say it?
I couldn't remember how he said it, but he just didn't know how to say Ibuka. Yeah. All right, my bad, Vic.
No problem. Did you guys want to do the fact or fiction, or do you want me to just get to my questions?
Whatever you prefer, sir. We got to get it going, so whatever you want to do.
All right, we're going to go quick here with fact or fiction. Do the Cowboys deserve credit for overcoming tough situations, which is something you wrote about, Gilbert?
Yeah, these are all probably going to be fact because I wrote about all these and I asked the questions, but I do want to hear Fernando's thoughts here, but because he's definitely harsh on the Cowboys, and I want to be quick in saying this. This is not the Cowboys are a real Super Bowl contender answer. It's not Dak Prescott is top 10 quarterback. It's not none of that. It's just for a team that lost Michael Parsons, and before the season, a team that has no CeeDee Lamb, a bunch of injuries on the offensive line, some injuries on defense, and to be 2-1, like let's give a clap to Brian Schottenheimer. Like he got a raw deal there. I get to beat the crappy Jets there, but the defense came alive for Matt Eberflus, who people want to crap on. He didn't have Michael Parsons for a whole freaking month, and he needed to adjust there. They got 5 sacks there. So to me, read the story at SI.com. And Brian Schottenheimer's offense, by the way, is like top 5 in every major category offensively. They're doing things right there. Again, it's not a hot take about them being a real threat here, but I think they need more credit. Fernando, what do you say?
They played the Jets.
Okay. They've tied with the Packers.
I mean, like,
yeah,
that one. Okay, so are the Packers good or they're bad?
I'm just saying they need more credit.
No,
people
but
like to crap on the Cowboys.
I give them credit. I give them more credit for the Packers tie because they did it without CeeDee Lamb, and what's his name went toe to toe with George Pickens as his main receiver, and you could see how emotional what's his name gets. What's his name?
Jerry?
How emotional no George Pickens gets.
Yeah.
So, but I do have to give them credit. I mean, they're not they know that they're not going to be without CeeDee Lamb. They're still making plays. They're still playing winning football, and I do have to give them credit. I just don't buy it. Like, I don't think they're going to go anywhere. Javonte Williams, he was kind of an afterthought when he left the Broncos, and he's ran pretty well for the Cowboys. So you have to be pretty impressed.
I'll just keep mine quick too with what you just said. To me, they're the Bengals from last year. They have a really good offense. That defense is, they're going to do just enough to keep them in games. And, what I really liked is Dak has taken command of that offense. He's the one running that offense, and we'll see what happens going forward. But to me, they're the Bengals from last year. I'm kind of surprised you're giving them credit, but Gilbert, but I get it.
I also think you're kind of insulting this defense by calling them the Bengals defense. They shut down Justin Fields on the running back. Justin Fields 26 yards. Other teams couldn't do that. Like I think Eberflus figured something out with the adjustments. Again, they got a raw deal, and I don't get why that's such a hard thing to fathom. Like this could maybe be a wild card team. I'm not saying they're going to be a real threat, but like the offense is really good, and the defense maybe turned the corner there. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, we'll stick. We're actually here. I want to hear from you guys about this because I'm actually interested in this. Fact or fiction? Is it time for the Raiders to ditch Geno Smith?
Fiction.
Oh,
why?
What do you mean?
You don't want a top 5 pick? He's doing exactly what you want.
That's fair.
You're about to get a top 5 pick. You could have your quarterback of the future if you want. You need to load up on draft picks. You need to get guys in there. You need to kind of trim the fat. I mean, if we thought that the Chargers project was 2 or 3 years, it was going to take Harbaugh to kind of get this going. For the Raiders, it's probably longer than what Pete Carroll envisions to be there with the Raiders, just because of the fact that they have no quarterback. Their offensive line is bad. Like they need offensive lineman players. They need playmakers. They have a great tight end. They have a good second tight end. Their defense, they have one real playmaker and he's good, but the rest of them are kind of guys that they put together that bang and they do a good job. But yeah, what do you just I know they won't admit it, but because Pete Carroll has an ego, like he's a winner and he's won everywhere else he's been. If I'm Pete, I just say, you know what? Steer the course. You're Captain Jack Sparrow. You have the compass. You know what your future is. Just keep it going and try and draft the quarterback that you want in the top 10. Remember, with Tom Telesco, you weren't able to get up early to get that Jaden Daniels. Maybe now you can get your Jaden Daniels a couple of years later, but no, stay the course. What either way, what the hell are you going to throw in there? Kenny Pickett's going to just do the same shit that Geno's doing. And then on the other side, what are you going to do? AOC's injured, right? So he can't play.
Yeah, he's on IR.
Yeah, IR. Yeah. So what you're going to bring in 2 gloves? Like, no, just leave it the way it is and just let write Geno to a top 5 pick.
Hey, Teddy Two Gloves is Teddy Bridgewater. You call Kenny Pickett small hands, okay? Get it right. But Fernando,
whoa,
I think
but he still has 2 gloves.
Yeah, that's true. I think we're in agreement here. I'm not saying ditch Geno Smith right now, but ditch him in the offseason. And we don't have the time right now, but I really want to go and rip into the Raiders organization because I get Mark Davis is not the full owner anymore, but he's still majority owner. And there's something there that I'm like, why do the Raiders seem content with being average? Like, I get they've been crappy for so long, but like to them, it's like, yeah, we get 8 wins. That's great. Like, and I started thinking about it, I'm like, and I forgot about this, but the last time they drafted a quarterback in the first round was Jamarcus Russell in 2007. And then I'm like, are they that, like scared about drafting a quarterback in the first round again? Like, because the second they got Derek Carr, is like, he's good. He's not great, but he's better than Jamarcus Russell. Let's keep that guy for 9 years and keep the cycle going of being mediocre. And then you finally cut ties. What do you bring? Gardner Minshew. You bring Jimmy G. You kind of hit your wagon a little bit on a 4th round pick, AOC. You bring in Geno Smith for more mediocre quarterback. It's like, are they afraid to develop a 1st round pick? Like, I don't get it. Pete Carroll won't do this. He won't tank the season. Tom Brady, and another thing about Tom Brady, and going to the whole thing, again, I have a lot of thoughts about the Raiders. Good star players tend to be terrible GMs and terrible coaches and terrible owners because they're so competitive. They don't know how to rebuild. Like, imagine Tom Brady saying, the ultimate competitor, hey guys, we suck. Can we lose the rest of the games? No way in hell Tom Brady's going to say that, but they should lose every freaking game the rest of the season. It's time to get a 1st round quarterback. Enough is enough. Stop being so afraid to develop one because you screwed it up 18 years ago with Jamarcus Russell. You took a whiff. You sucked there. That's your dad's fault, Mark. takes a control of the team and has some cojones and draft a freaking quarterback. Like the Patriots lost Tom Brady and they got Drake May. They sucked for a couple of years and they were fine. But for some reason, the Raiders want to be like, I like Derek Carr. He's safe. I like Geno Smith. He's safe. I like Gardner Minshew. He's safe. I like Jimmy G. Those guys suck. Go get a real quarterback. I'm done.
Derek Carr wants to come back too.
Yeah,
he might be better than Geno at this point. Geno has a league high 9 interceptions. He's terrible right now.
By the way, can I tell you real quick what pisses me off? And we'll get to Vic. Sorry. I just saw it right now on Twitter because I was looking for something to show you at the very end. I hate that people are like, oh, Brandon Staley and Kellen Moore were able to beat Jackson Dart and the Chargers couldn't. You gave them the blueprint. Like they showed all their hand against the Chargers. Obviously, the Saints were going to pick up on it. Like there was no film on him, and they finally had film. So I just think it's dumb, like the anger that some people have, and they're trying to make sense of everything. I'm like, sometimes the NFL doesn't make sense. I mean, if that makes sense.
So
but all right, my bad. Go ahead, Rick.
Huh? Yeah, no, I'll keep mine short, and I think I'm with Fernando in terms of like my thing would be just tank at this point. Like you're doing the right thing right now, but I think my biggest issue with this team right now is there's a lot of problems. It's the thing that you just talked about earlier, Fernando, about Boseman and the center. For if you ask most Raider fans, especially Joe Morley, you don't understand why JPJ is in the center, why he's playing right guard. It makes no sense. Yeah. And then Pete Carroll keeps saying, oh, he's in a competition with Alex Kappa. Alex Kappa, who was terrible with the Bengals last year, that's who he's competing with when he's been the best offensive lineman when he's played. It makes no sense. Chip Kelly just looks terrible again. He makes no adjustments. Like I said, I understand everybody you start with the quarterback and you go from there, but there's a lot of issues here, and Pete Carroll looks old. Like he, especially when reporters are asking like it's just like, well, and he
I know, I'm just kidding.
But the whole like, well, he's so young and he's out there like looking more young than everybody else, and it's like, yes, there's a reason why the Seahawks let him go. Like, he can't keep up with a lot of these guys. Like, and I thought the Chip Kelly thing was actually really smart, but the more you look at it, honestly, at the end of the day, like the guy that's coaching the best is Patrick Graham, who's been there for a couple of years. Like they keep giving him scraps and he keeps coming up with something. Like I think, like I said, I don't think it's Geno Smith, but just continue to do what you're doing right now, like, and continue to tank and try to get a top 5 pick.
I hope you mean like for the season, but get rid of him after the season when you get a first round quarterback, right? You
have an out. Like you only gave him you have an out, and this is why. And we'll talk about this tomorrow furthermore because I know we have to get to the Monday night game here, but this is why if you look around, all the successful teams right now, the ones that are doing really good are the ones that are not paying the quarterback $50 million or above, like, because they're able to build around that team. And like I said, we'll talk more about it, but I wanted to get you guys just as the Monday night preview as we leave here. Jags and Chiefs. Yeah, what is going to be the storyline coming out of this game, guys? Is it Chiefs prove that they're still the team to beat in the AFC with the win over the Jags, or Jacksonville continues a surprising start to the season with another quality win, Gilbert?
This is a tough one, and as you guys know, I tend to be a little more positive on the Chiefs here, but the Jaguars did something last week where they're pretty impressive to go into Levi's and beat them. I do worry about the Chiefs having injuries to Xavier Worthy, maybe no Josh Simmons, but I think it's just an illness. Maybe he's okay. But yeah, I'm not gonna make excuse for the Chiefs. I'm gonna say it's the first one. They're gonna beat up on the Jaguars. I'm not saying they're gonna win like in dominant fashion, but they could win by a touchdown, and then improve to 3-2. And surprise, surprise, the Chiefs are not going anywhere. The sky is not falling in KC. People are trying to write them off so quick. I get people are tired of them, but I'll give myself credit here because chill, other people. I'll give myself credit here because people blur the lines. Were like, I don't want to see that team anymore. I get tired of that team. Like they just they win. I don't understand why that's a problem. People can't notice it. They know how to win when it matters. People, they don't care about stuff. People want style points. They want to be entertained. I get it, but sometimes take off the hate glasses and support and say that's a good team. They're gonna find a way to do it, and they might do it tonight. And if they don't, then yeah, people are gonna say, yeah, they suck. I called it. But for the most part, they're gonna be okay. Like the demise is not happening anytime soon.
Fernando, what's the storyline coming out of this game?
Gilbert, I don't know about that. The whole demise isn't happening anytime soon. It comes for everybody. I just don't. This team, to me, that defense can be had. I'm not saying it's going to happen tonight, but I think the storyline is going to be that they hung on and they were able to win. But yeah, I'll say that they were able to hang on. I know I chose the Jaguars to win, but it's the Jaguars. I don't believe in them that much. I just think it's Dan and Gilbert baited me into it, and I'm like, all right, fine, I'll just take the Jags. Why not?
Yeah, blame me for that one. They could still
both
win.
Of you guys
even if they
did.
lose, Fernando. The sky's not falling.
Huh? No. But I'm not saying the sky's falling. I just don't think they're the same team that they were 2 years ago. That was a juggernaut. They could I think if they get into a shootout, they can't get into a shootout. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think their offensive line is as good as it has been. I don't think their defense is as good as it has been. I think they're getting older. I think Travis Kelce. I think Chris Jones is starting to slow down as well. Like they're starting to get up there in age. But I mean, we'll see what happens. I still think Kansas City's going to win tonight. But if not, I mean, I have my pick back there. But Vic, can you check this off real quick? Just give Gilbert the video that he wanted to hear. This is Rob Gronkowski trying to pronounce the name Gilbert.
Ohio State. Mika Egbegboo going for over. Oh my God. Mika,
not even close.
I'm getting confused. Are you going?
I'm getting confused.
The last name was just butchered.
Guys, one thing you guys should not be confused about is you guys love the Compas. You guys, again, go to this. You guys have a really good podcast. I'm surprised not as big as some of the other sorry-ass podcasts. Again, we appreciate you guys. And listen to what Angel said. Angel said, just wait until tomorrow. The podcast gets better. Hopefully,
for 10 minutes.
Dan goes rated R. By the way,
6:45 to 7.
Call it 10 minutes with Dan and Diego once a week.
Hey, 10 minutes is better than no minutes. By the way, I do hear there's a return coming next week or tomorrow. We will see if a certain fan returns to the show to throw in his comments. He heard what some of the people were saying about him.
Oh, yeah.
And he is not happy. So we will
when it's a bye week, it's easy to come back. It's a bye week,
huh? I'm gonna put a caption: bye week, cheese eating bastard.
Exactly. There you go. Again, thank you to everybody who checked this out. Don't forget, tomorrow at about 5:30, we will start the Four Compas show. Gilbert and I will start it off, then we bring in Vic, and then when Dan is able to grace us with his presence, he will show up to add the boom. Obviously he doesn't like the boom, but he will add the boom. Exactly. Appreciate everybody so much. You guys are the best. But for the time being, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to let your compas know that we have a bunch of stuff coming out. We have a bunch of great stuff, so make sure you guys keep on tuning in. Appreciate everybody who checked it out. Gilbert, why don't you get us out of here?
Yeah, let's get out of here. Check out everything we're doing on Compas on the Beat, everything we're doing on What's Up Boats, everything we're doing at House of Horns. Support. Be a compa, tell a compa about Compas on the Beat. But it's time to get going. Enjoy Chiefs, Jaguars, Charger fans. You can root for the Jaguars. But it's time to get going. Y nos vamos, pues.